For the last 31 days, I was making videos showing 5 Fallout collectibles per day. This is a compilation of all of those videos put together. I hope you enjoy. Starting with the Blue Fusion Flea, made by the Wand Company, less than 5,000 made worldwide, but no exact numbers. It came with a pin, lovely retro looking box, and a manual. Second up, the Light Up Quantum LED bottle, made by Development Plus in 2018, sold alongside Fallout 76. I got mine at GameStop. Originally they sold around 30 bucks, but I got mine for $10 on clearance. Next we have the pink colorway Rex lithograph, made by Tom Wallen, released on Bethesda Gear Store, measuring 18 by 24 inches. This is the open edition variant. Following that, we have the Sugar Bomb Shot Glass, made by Just Funky. I love its nifty little box, and these are still for sale. You can get them for around 17 bucks, making it a great gift idea for the holidays. Last up, we have Fallout Operation, made by USA Opoly and sold at various retailers. This is a fun copy of the original skill game, including puns like Atom Bomb, Dog Meat Breath, and Bottle Kneecap. It also makes radioactive Geiger counter sounds when you fail. First up today, we got the Pip-Boy 2000 Mark VI Enclave Edition, made by the Wand Company. These originally retailed around $180 and were limited to 1,500 pieces worldwide. They featured a light-up screen, light-up vacuum tubes. They also came with a holotape and Vault-Tec screwdriver. Next, we have the Christless Employee Coffee Mug. Nothing too crazy about this mug, but I do love it. I only wish I had a second one so I can use it as my daily mug. Next, we have the Teal Rex lithograph variant, made by Tom Wallen and sold on Bethesda Gear Store, measuring 18 by 24 inches. This was only for sale for 72 hours before being discontinued. Next up, we have the Black and White Special Vault Boy vinyl figure. This is one of just 3 variants. This one being exclusive to FYE stores. I picked mine up at my local mall shortly after the release of Fallout 4. Last for today, the Quantum XO1 statue, sold on Bethesda Gear Store in 2022. These were limited to 900 worldwide. This is one of 4 XO1 variants that were sold on the site, and probably my favorite. Starting today's video big with the Atom Cats T630 figure. Sold back in 2017, but sold out now. I snagged mine for a couple $100 over MSRP. These have 35 points of articulation, removable armor, and even came with a rifle, Fat Man, and Mini Nuke. These are some of the most highly detailed figures there are. I want to get all of them, but they're so expensive. Second up for today, I have the Mini Nuke Salt and Pepper Shaker. These were part of a Loot Crate, but I don't subscribe to Loot Crate. I got these in a trade from a fellow Fallout collector. Still love them though. Next, we have the Pinfinity Brotherhood of Steel logo pin. This pin glows in the dark and has AR function. It's still for sale on the Pinfinity website, making it a good gift idea for the holidays. Next, we have the Mr. Fuzzy plushie, sold on Gaming Heads. These are still available for 30 bucks. Also a great gift idea. Last for today, the infamous Nuka-Cola T51 helmet. Made by Chronicle Collectibles, these are best known for their mold issue back in 2019. Only a few got out with mold. They quickly fixed the issue and re-released them at a discount. I got mine for 50 bucks at GameStop. Starting today with the Nuka-Cola PC case, made and sold by NZXT, retailing for 300 bucks. This is a custom H700 case sporting the Nuka-Cola branding, limited to 2,000 worldwide. They quickly sold out. Since I've had it, I built 3 computers in here. I love this case, even though the airflow isn't the best, so I just keep my side glass off. Second up, we have the Lone Wanderer Funko figure. This is part of Funko's Legacy figure collection. Personally, this is one of my favorite lines for Funko, and I really wish they made a bunch more of these for Fallout. Third up, we have the Karma pin set. It included 3 pieces, a good Vault Boy, a bad Vault Boy, and a slider pin, which is a good way to show somebody how you're feeling for that day. Next, we have the Fallout 76 challenge coin, only distributed on military bases for Fallout 76 pre-orders. These were made to thank the Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, Navy, and Marines for their services. Last for today, we have the Chronicle Collectibles Liberty Prime figure. These retailed for about 100 bucks and sold at various retailers like GameStop, Sideshow Collectibles, Big Bad Toy Store, and more. I snagged mine on a GameStop clearance for about 30 bucks. Starting with the 2008 E3 Nuka-Cola bottle. Made by Avery Beverages in New Britain, Connecticut, this bottle was exclusively sent out to journalists and attendees of the 2008 E3. This was one of the first major collectibles I ever had my eye on. I got lucky and snagged it for only 200 bucks just a couple years ago. Next up, the Nuka-Cola controller by Power A. This is the second Fallout-themed controller by Power A, limited to 5,000 worldwide. It's not the best for gaming. I like the design, plus it fits my Nuka-Cola PC theme pretty well. Next, we have the Funko Pop Ghoul number 50. While I'm not the biggest fan of Funko Pops, I really enjoyed hunting all the Pops down for this line. And I do believe this Ghoul was actually my first one back in 2015. Next, we have the Vault-Tec Scented Candle. This scented candle released on Bethesda Gear Store, but it's sold out now. For those wondering, it smells like a nice blend of vanilla and bourbon. Last, we have the iBot statue from Bethesda Gear. Released in 2022, this was limited to 2,000 worldwide. I got number 103, which is actually a vault featured in the Bethesda pinball game. I really wish they made an Eddie variant of this. First up, we have the Plasma Rifle replica made by Chronicle Collectibles. Released shortly shortly after Fallout 76. This is a 1-to-1 full-scale replica featuring lights on the sides, a moving trigger but no sounds. This released for about 120 caps, but I only paid 40 for mine on clearance at GameStop. Next up, we have the Fallout Cookbook, written by Victoria Rosenthal, featuring 192 pages. This has tons of dishes from the wasteland. There were 2 versions of this released, one standard hardback version and one collector's edition with a custom cover and an apron. Next, we have the Deathclaw Penny Arcade pin. This pin was given out at PAX West in 2016, but I was gifted one a few years ago by a Bethesda employee. Next, we have the Dog Meat Plush Stubbins, made by Gaia Entertainment. I ordered this a while back from the Bethesda Gear International store. I don't think I've actually seen one for sale in the US though. Last for today, we have the Mega Thumbs Up Vault Boy from Gaming Heads. Standing 15 inches tall, this retailed for $150, but I'm thrifty and got mine for $50 on eBay. They're individually numbered on the bottom and came with a certificate of authenticity. First up, we have the Fallout Smartwatch by 161 Studios. This watch features a bunch of different custom Fallout faces. It had a lot of your typical smartwatch features, however, shortly after releasing, the studio shut down. Since then, all app support has been lost, and some of these suffered from software issues that prevented it from actually taking or keeping a charge. Next, we have the Fallout Tarot Card Set, released by Insight Editions. This tarot card set has some really awesome artwork, and they're still available on Amazon, which is a pretty good gift idea for the holidays. Next up, the Avenue Entrance Lithograph, featuring Fallout 4 concept art by Ray Letterer. These released on the old Bethesda Gear store in 2016, and they were limited to 500 prints worldwide. Next, we have this adorable Deathclaw plushie, released on Gaming Heads and still available for $30. This is another great gift idea for the holidays. Last for today, we have a Fallout 4 promo shirt in the Abraxo box. These were given away at the Fallout 4 launch party. I snagged mine on eBay for reasonably cheap, around $80. Inside is a blue Welcome Home t-shirt, but you'll have to take my word for it because I'm not opening mine. Starting today off huge with the lime green fusion flea, made by the Wand Company. This flea was made as an incentive for top performing GameStop stores that were promoting the Pip-Boy 2000 DIY kit. Only given to those top performing GameStop managers, 250 were made. However, I have pre-production number 1 given to me directly from Chris Barnardo from the Wand Company. Next, we have the Radbear plush. This Radbear was sold back in 2020 on Bethesda Gear Store with a retail of $20, but due to a store glitch, they actually released closer to $3.50. So I bought a few of them just to take this funny photo. Next, we have the War Never Changes lithograph, made by Luke Priest and sold on Bethesda Gear Store in 2021. This lithograph is 24 by 36 inches and limited to 600 worldwide. Next, we have the green exclusive Funko Vault Boy figure, exclusive to Emerald City Comic Con in 2016. These were limited to 250 total. I was lucky enough to get mine for $75 on eBay. Last up, we have the green Vault Boy LED lamp, made by Numbskull shortly after the release of Fallout 76. Standing about 12 inches tall and retailing for $40, it's since been discontinued. Starting today with the Super Sledge by Chronicle Collectibles. This is a 1-to-1 scale prop that retailed for about $80. Just like the other props, it went on clearance at GameStop, and I picked mine up for $20. This is pretty cheap plastic, so I wouldn't recommend swinging it around. It feels like it wants to break. Next, we have the Quantum Cap Stash. Released on Bethesda Gear Store, this cap stash includes 20 caps inside of a nice quantum themed tin. The original version had bronze colored caps in a large tin. The newer version has silver colored caps in a slightly smaller tin. Next, we have the Sunset Sarsaparilla Pin-Up Girl lithograph, made by Neil Krolicki and released on Bethesda Gear Store. These measured 16 by 24 inches and limited to 500 prints worldwide. Next up, the Nuka-Cola Quartz mini bottle. This released on Bethesda Gear Store in the second series of mystery bottles in 2019. There was a 1 in 6 chance to get this bottle in the set. Last up, we have the Art of Fallout 4 Collector's Edition. Made by Dark Horse, this version has a variant hardcover of the 366-page art book. It also included an exclusive 16-page image gallery, exclusive print, and a slipcase to store it all in. Starting with the original Fallout Big Box PC Edition, which includes the CD-ROM game, survival guide, manuals, and promo material. There's actually 2 versions that I have of this, one in a matte finish box and one in a glossy finish box. Next, we have the Fallout Ingot, made by We Are Fanatic. This was made to celebrate 25 years of Fallout and sports the original art from Fallout 1 on the front. There were 1,998 made, and I have number 991. Next, we have the 1997 Interplay promotional VHS tape. This tape features trailers for games that Interplay was working on at the time, including Realms of the Haunting, Die by the Sword, Starfleet Academy, Fallout, and more. It also included all these coupons, but I don't think they'll honor them anymore. Next up, we have the original survival guide. This is the Fallout 1 strategy guide. This took me a while to finally track down, and I only paid $20 for it back in 2017. They go for a lot more now. Last, I have this Golden Games edition of Fallout. I originally picked it up because I didn't know what it was, but I think it's more or less just a cheap greatest hits version from overseas. Starting with the Fallout 3 prototype lunchbox. This version 1 lunchbox was only given to journalists by Bethesda. Most people will think this is the same as the collector's edition lunchbox, but side by side you can see there's some differences, like no print on the sides, they're different sizes, and the text on the back is different. I've seen these sell for upwards of $2,000, making it one of the top top grails to go after if you find one. Next, we have the Nuka-Cola token, made by We Are Fanatic. They're still available on the We Are Fanatic website, and I've seen them on Amazon. Not a bad gift idea. Next, I have the Soul Survivor Funko Pop and the misprinted Soul Survivor Funko Pop. When these first released, the Soul Survivor was everywhere. The corrected Soul Survivor version is actually a lot harder to find nowadays. Next, I have the USB Mini Nuka Hub. This is a promotional item from Loot Crate for pre-ordering the first 6 Fallout crates, but I got mine through a trade from a fellow Fallout collector. Last, I have the Nuka-Cola Cap Coaster set made by Just Funky in 2017. The set includes 4 oversized Nuka-Cola Cap Coasters. I picked mine up at a ThinkGeek store shortly after they came out. Starting with the Fusion Core Replica Prop by Chronicle Collectibles. Released in 2018, this 1-to-1 Fusion Core prop retailed for about $50 at various retailers, and even went on clearance as low as $15 at some GameStops. I also have a prototype version of this given to me by a Bethesda employee. Next, I have the Foam Pip-Boy, by far the ugliest Fallout collectible I've ever seen. This monstrosity retailed for about $15 at Party City stores a few years back. It's supposed to have a holographic sticker for a screen, but mine fell off. Next, I have the Golden Power Armor Funko Pop. This is a limited edition release exclusive to GameStop and EB Game stores. Only available in a Funko mystery box for Black Friday 2015. I remember buying 6 of those stupid mystery boxes just to get one of these. Next, I have the Blue Brahmin plushie. Released on Bethesda Gear Store, retailed for about $35. You may remember this as a camp item from Fallout 76 after the Steel Dawn update. Currently, they're out of stock on Bethesda Gear, but I hope they get more. Last up, I have the Pip-Boy 3D ceramic mug, made by Just Funky, released in 2016. I got mine from a GameStop ThinkGeek store, but I see them regularly for $50 on eBay. Starting with the Liberty Prime Mini Nuke bookends, made by Dark Horse Direct. These Mark 28 bookends retailed for about $180. These were limited to 1,000 worldwide. They feature some incredible detail and weighed in at nearly 20 pounds. Next, we have the Vault Boy Thumbs Up LED light, sold on Bethesda Gear Store in 2018, featuring a USB powered light up head. However, mine burned out. The LED is supposed to be white or yellow, but I replaced mine with a green one, which is super rad. Next, we have the Fallout Pinfinity set. This is the first set they released, retailing for about $40. It included the Science Master, Thirst Zapper, and Protectron. All 3 have AR function with an app, custom wallpapers, and the included Nuka Grill card plays the Nuka World trailer. I thought that was a pretty cool touch. Next, we have the Nuka Grill cereal by Funko. They've thought of everything except for actual sugar bombs. This release by Funko is one I could have lived without. I heard the cereal was awful, and now mine's just a solid mass inside of a box. Last, I have the Fallout chess set made by USA Opoly. This is the GameStop edition, which features exclusive black and green pieces. Starting with the limited edition Valentine Detective Agency watch. These were sold on Bethesda Gear Store and made by Meister Watches, retailing for about $150 and limited to 500 worldwide. I was lucky enough to get number 15 out of 500. Next, we have the Spicy Ranch 3D Doritos. These were a limited release when Xbox was collaborating with Doritos. I snagged mine from Target. To my understanding, US got Spicy Ranch and overseas got Smokin' Barbecue featuring a T60 power armor on the bag instead of a Vault Boy. Next, I have the Helping Hand lithograph. These were sold on the old Bethesda Gear Store, released in 2013, measuring 18 by 24 inches and limited to 250 worldwide. These are pretty hard to come by and usually fetch a pretty penny. Next, I have the Nuka World Souvenir Cup by Fan Wraps. This is a 32-ounce cup. Nothing crazy, but this is exactly what you'd expect if you went anywhere and got a souvenir cup. I like it a lot. Last for today, I have the Chibi Cryptid Mothman plush, sold on Bethesda Gear for about $30. These are currently sold out, but this is one of the softest plushes that I have in my collection, and I like it a lot. Starting with the Pip-Boy 2000 DIY kit by the Wand Company, released alongside Fallout 76 and retailing for about $150. This kit features over 100 pieces to build your very own Pip-Boy 2000. They included Vault-Tec themed tools, a holotape, and the instructions feel right out of the Fallout world. Next, we have the holotape mini kit sets. These mini sets were released shortly after the DIY kits and featured special cards portraying holotape games and build instructions on the back. I have a full box which includes all 10 versions of the holotape game cards, and each holotape comes with these tiny little Vault-Tec screwdrivers. It's so adorable. Next, we have the Pip-Boy 2000 Bluetooth stand. This was the perfect accessory to prop up your newly finished DIY Pip-Boy 2000. These retailed for about $80. They featured a Bluetooth speaker and 10 audio clips from the Overseer in Fallout 76.
Just know that Vault-Tec is proud of you. I am proud of you.
Next up, we have the Pip-Boy Screen Upgrade Module. This is a grail among collectors because this wasn't available for very long. These retailed for about $35 but sold out quick, most likely phased out in favor for the pre-assembled kits that came out shortly after that included light-up screens already. I was lucky to get mine for about $120 because I missed the initial launch, but they can sell for over $300 now. Last for today, we have the Pip-Boy Radio Upgrade Module. These were pretty widely available after the DIY kits initially released, retailing for about $40 when they first came out. They have an FM radio tuner built in. They feature light-up vacuum tubes, tubes. They included Fusion Cell themed AAA batteries, and they came wrapped in Boston Bugle newspaper clippings, which is a super awesome touch. Starting with the G Fuel Nuka-Cola Quantum Collector's Edition. These were launched to help celebrate 25 years of Fallout. The kit included the Nuka-Cola Quantum G Fuel, a commemorative tin, a special Fallout themed G Fuel shaker cup, and if you bought it fast enough, you got a G Fuel Quantum cap and a G Fuel Vault Boy sticker. For some reason, the sticker and the cap weren't included in later batches of the collector's edition. Next, I have the Fallout 3 limited edition coin, made by We Are Fanatic and limited to 9,995 worldwide. The coin is a Vault-Tec logo embossed on one side and a Vault Boy with the slogan "Surface Never, Vault Forever" on the other. I have number 795 out of those nearly 10,000 coins made. Next, I have the Christless Daytime lithograph. These were limited to 300 worldwide. I have number 65. The art featured on this print was made by Mattbag 3D, and it features vehicles from the Wand Company, such as the Lime Green Flea, the Nuka-Cola Pick-Our-Up truck, and more. These were sold on Bethesda Gear, but sold out pretty quick given their limited quantity. Next, I have these 3 pop sockets. These are the only 3 I have. I'm not even sure if there's other ones. I got all these in trades over the years, but they originally sold on Bethesda Gear Store. To be honest, I've never given a pop socket a chance. I had one on a phone once for like 2 days. I didn't care for it, so these ones get to live their lives safe in their packages and not on my phone. Last for today, we have the Fallout Mini Nuke Snow Globe, made by ThinkGeek. I got mine at GameStop in 2017. I remember even when they came out, they were fairly hard to get. My GameStop didn't even get the one that I ordered, and I had to drive 40 minutes to another store to pick one up. These are pretty fragile, prone to breaking during shipment, and suffer from paint defects that cause the paint to separate on his body, but it just adds a cool weathering effect over time. So maybe it's not a defect, maybe it's a feature. Starting with the Vault-Tec Pip-Boy 2000, made by the Wand Company, modeled after the skin in Fallout 76 that cost 600 atoms. These came pre-assembled, limited to 2,200 units worldwide, sold at various retailers like Big Bad Toy Store and Bethesda Gear Store, with an MSRP of about $180. This features a light-up screen, light-up vacuum tubes, came with a certificate of authenticity, operating manual, a holotape, and a Vault-Tec themed screwdriver. Next, we have the Fallout Edition Rockstar Energy Drink, released in 2022, featuring the iconic T60 power armor on the can. This is how you could obtain the Heat Eater Fallout power armor skin in Fallout 76, which is by far the most lore-friendly skin I've ever seen. Moving on to the Fallout Dorbs collection by Funko. I've broken the rules of the series multiple times, showing more than 5 collectibles. Well, here I'm going to show all the Dorbs, so I don't have to show them again. This set includes 11 different Dorbs that originally retailed for about $8 back in 2017. This set includes Lone Wanderer Female, Lone Wanderer Male, Power Armor, Toughness Perk, Grim Reaper Sprint, Vault Boy, Mysterious Ranger, Super Mutant, Adamantium Skeleton, and a chase and non-chase variant of the Rooted Perk. These are meant to be cute little additions to a shelf, but I keep mine boxed up, at least until I can find more room to display them, because right now I'm just completely out of room. Next, I have the Vats Air Freshener, made by Just Funky in 2018. This vanilla scented air freshener is likely something a lot of people would skip or miss out on. I got mine at a local game shop when they first came out. Nothing too crazy, just a cool little addition to the collection. Last for today, we have the wooden Pip-Boy 3D art, sold on Bethesda Gear Store in 2020, with an original retail of about $75. This wall art appears to be about 6 layers of pine wood that are cut, shaped, and stacked on each other to give a cool 3D effect. This is a collectible I often forget I even own, but I like the uniqueness of it. I need to find a good spot on the wall to hang it. Starting with the Power Fist replica by Chronicle Collectibles. This 1-to-1 Power Fist sold for about $100 at various retailers like GameStop, but like most of the props I've shown by Chronicle Collectibles, these quickly went on clearance. I think I paid about $30 at my GameStop for this. It's pretty cool, looks really good. I definitely wouldn't suggest punching anything with it. It will shatter. Next, we have the Nuka-Cola Quantum Glass Bottle. These are sold by Bethesda Gear Store. It's an almost perfect bottle for collectors. I say almost for a few reasons. One, you can't drink out of it. It's not food grade. I would imagine the coloring they used isn't safe. The cap doesn't provide any type of seal, so you can't take it anywhere. And above all else, these were way too fragile. I remember I unboxed mine and I was gonna fill it with some blue liquid. I barely touched the side of my sink and I broke the corner. On the fins, the glass is about 1 micron thick, so if these touch anything, a hard surface, even just a little too hard, they'll break. Next up, we have the Adamantium Vault Boy Funko Pop. These were sold at Hot Topic as a mystery box. They were just wrapped in plastic with a bunch of question marks, and I remember buying about 8 of them before I finally pulled one of these. These were considered the chase out of the set. It wasn't worth it. I'll probably never do one of those mystery pulls again. I have terrible luck with them, but the pop is cool. Next, we have the Vault Boy shot glass set. This is a 4-pack of shot glasses featuring Vault Boys in each glass. We have Party Boy, followed by Lead Belly, followed by Agility, followed by Charisma. This shot glass set is also a pretty famous meme in the Fallout community. As you can see, all the Vault Boys are, well, they're having a pretty good time. It's hard for me to imagine somebody over at Just Funky who made this shot glass set didn't notice and at least giggle a little bit to themselves about it. Maybe they'll comment, because we follow each other. Comment, do it, let us know. know. We have to know. And last for today, we have a Tubbs Duck, the Vault Boy edition, the mini Vault Boy edition. Shout out to my friends Cass and Rob for getting me this, but I've also seen people find them at Five Below stores, and they're for sale on the Just Geek website and probably a few other online retailers. They're pretty cheap, don't take up much room, and I've been tempted to buy up a bunch of them just to put them on people's Jeeps, because Jeep owners love ducks for some reason. I'm not a Jeep owner. I just want to spread the Fallout joy through duckies to Jeep people. Collector's edition copy of Fallout New Vegas, which just so happens to be the first item for today. This collector's edition includes the base game, the All Roads graphic novel, which is an introduction to the story of New Vegas, written by Chris Avallone. It came with a making of Blu-ray or DVD if you were on Xbox, a set of poker chips, a Platinum Lucky 38 chip, and a deck of cards. This deck of cards is probably my favorite item because it's a mismatch of cards from various casinos around New Vegas. And of course, the art on the front of the cards is amazing too. I would venture to say this is my favorite collector's edition of all time. Next up, we have the Lucky 38 poker set. This released during Great War Week 2019. This is a very high quality poker set featuring 200 poker chips, 2 decks of playing cards, big and small blind chips, a platinum metal dealer chip, all inside a really nice custom carrying case. This retailed for $150, which in my opinion was well worth it. Next up, we have the New Vegas All Roads print. You might remember this from the collector's edition I showed earlier. This is the same art on that All Roads novel. This was given out during PAX conventions and also during San Diego Comic-Con and QuakeCon 2010. Next up, I have the Fallout New Vegas standee. This is a promo item at a lot of game stores. My GameStop had one, another local game store had one, and I actually had one before this one, but ended up selling it to make some ends meet financially. So this one has a funny story because it was supposed to be a quick trip up to Chicago, which would have been an 8-hour round trip, ended up being closer to a 17 or 18-hour round trip because there was a blizzard and my little Mustang just couldn't handle it. It sucked. It was dead stop traffic on the way back. Semi trucks were flipped over, but I got the standee, so I'm happy. And last for today, I have the NCR Ranger helmet. This was sold on Bethesda Gear Store for $150. These went up for pre-order on October 23rd, 2021 for Great War Week. This came with a belt buckle, a stand, and a more ferocious than a Deathclaw sticker. This helmet lights up red, and yes, you can wear it. These were limited to 5,000 worldwide. They stayed up on the Gear Store for roughly 8 months. Then, out of nowhere, on June 17th, and I have proof of this, these went on a steep clearance for 90% off, making them $15 plus shipping. They only lasted about an hour or two before being completely bought out. Luckily, I got mine for that price. Starting with the Nuka-Cola Quantum X0130 figure. These went up for pre-order in 2018 and retailed for about $380. These were 1/6 scale, standing about 14.5 inches tall, fully posable with 35 points of articulation, super well detailed, had an LED inside of the helmet, and all of the armor can be detached and swapped with other armor. This is my favorite 3-0 figure ever made. Next up, we have the Nuka-Cola Quantum by Jones Cola. Anyone around during the Fallout 4 release is probably going to remember these. They were a pain to get, only released at Target stores, and there was a lot of stories floating around about employees taking all of them, people buying all of them, and just generally fans not being able to get them. Since then, they had a couple releases at various conventions, but also seemed to be exclusive to Toy NK, or Twink, I don't know how you say it, for a ridiculous $23 a bottle right now. Jones, if you're watching this, please re-release these with a reasonable price, just like the Victory Sodas, I beg you. Next up, I have the Nuka-Cola Quantum Flea. Since I've shown a few fleas on here, I'm going to make this one kind of quick. These were made by the Wand Company, limited to 800 worldwide. They came with a postcard, user manual, Nuka-Cola Quantum bottle opener, and a snazzy box. The flea itself features the Nuka-Cola Quantum livery, which is one of the cooler looking fleas in my opinion. Next up, I have the Nuka-Cola Quantum Snapback Hat. These were only available in the international Bethesda Gear Store, retailed for about 28 bucks. Even though I'm not a hat guy, I love the colors on this hat. Last up for the day, I have the Nuka-Cola Quantum LED acrylic sign, sold on Bethesda Gear Store, released in April 2021. These retailed for about 28 bucks, but they've been long sold out. They feature an acrylic quantum bottle and a light up base with a nice purplish blue color. A while after they released, they went on sale. I want to say I picked mine up for about $12. Starting with the Welcome Home floor mat. These are made by Just Funky and sold on the ThinkGeek website and in-store. I got mine at a local GameStop for about 30 bucks. These measure about 30 by 18 inches and pretty thick rubber. This is honestly a really nice floor mat, and I might need to replace my flimsy Nuka-Cola one soon with it. Next up, we have the Red Rocket coat hanger set, released in January 2023 in the Bethesda Gear Store and retailing for about 40 bucks. It included 3 hangers, all modeled after the iconic Red Rocket logo. These were made of zinc alloy metal, and it included mounting hardware. Next up, I have the Tesla rifle replica from Loot Crate. As I've said before, I don't support Loot Crate, but I did get this in trade from a fellow Fallout collector. This is the exact gun I used in 76 for a long time, so I really like having it in my collection, just as a reminder. Seeing all those chain kills of feral ghouls being electrified, it's a good time. Speaking of feral ghouls, up next I have the feral ghoul figure by Hero Collector. This is a 1/16 scale figure made from cast resin and hand painted. This released in 2021 and sold on various websites for about 30 bucks. I picked mine up on Bethesda Gear Store, but they're currently sold out. Even though these are small, the detail's really nice. Last up for today, we have the Cable Guy Vault Boy controller holder. I picked this guy up at my local Target in late 2018, not too long after Fallout 76 release. He served me well holding various controllers over the last 6 years, but he recently fell off my shelf and broke. It does seem like an easy fix, but he also looks like he's leaning a bit too far forward. First up today, I have a limited edition Paladin Dance statue. Sold on Bethesda Gear Store for about $125 in 2022, limited to 900 worldwide. This statue features Dance holding his laser rifle while squashing the head of a ghoul. It has really good detail, except just one thing. His ass is a little flat. That's right, kids. This is an all gyat episode. Check out this custom dance I had my friend Cass make me. Let me know in the comments what the best name for him is. We got Badonka Dance, Paladin Donk, Dad Ass Dance. Come up with some of the comments, because I would love to hear them. Next gyat, we have the Nuka Girl statue by Modern Icons. These were sold exclusively at ThinkGeek and GameStop stores. Retail was only 50 bucks. The statue features the iconic Nuka-Cola girl holding up a bottle of Nuka-Cola, standing on a giant bottle cap with a thirst stopper on her hip. The detail on the statue is really nice for the price. These were limited edition, but no set number on how many were made. Also, pretty nice gyat. Next up, it's almost like Modern Icons had an eye for the gyat. This Vault Girl figure was also made by them. Sold at ThinkGeek and GameStop stores for 50 bucks as well. This statue features the Vault Girl as seen on the Vault Tech Workshop DLC, with her super sledge in her right hand and giving that classic Vault Tech wink and thumbs up. Again, for the price, the detail on these is great. Also, not a bad gyat. Next gyat for the day, we have the Assaultron prototype statue, made by Bethesda Gear in 2021. There were 3 variants of this statue that all retailed for 95 bucks. The prototype variant had a plain off-white color scheme, presumably to have people paint them themselves. They were limited to 200 worldwide, and I do recall when I first unboxed this, there were entirely too many jar requests in the comments. Why, people? Why? This is a family channel. Get a hold of yourselves. Last gyat for the day, we have the Mothman statue. This was released on Bethesda Gear Store as well, also in 2021. It retailed for 95 bucks. They're modeled after the in-game Fallout 76 version of Mothman, which is slightly different than the real-world Mothman. However, both Mothmans have these perfectly chiseled gyats on their hind ends, so that must mean there's some sort of truth to it, right? Starting with the Pip-Boy 3000 Deluxe Bluetooth Edition. This Pip-Boy was made and sold by ThinkGeek. It retailed for about 350 bucks. It has its own built-in screen, operating system, functional buttons, and even came with a holotape that held 4 gigabytes of data. This could Bluetooth to your phone, play music, and had a stand that you can hook it up to with even louder speakers. This is by far the best Pip-Boy replica you can get, pending the Wand Company version that's coming out soon. However, these were plagued with issues preventing some of them from booting properly, although I think just swapping out one of the chips inside the unit has proven to fix the dead ones, but I haven't tried myself. Next up, we have the Atomic Blast Lamp, released in Great War Week 2019 on Bethesda Gear Store. This lamp takes 3 AAA batteries and lights up like a little mushroom cloud for your desktop. These are very similar to the Fallout 76 in-game lamp, with a little variance to the cloud shape. I absolutely love this piece. My only wish is that it had a USB port option for power. Next up, I have the Mini Nuke Anthology set. There are 2 versions of this. The older version has the discs for Fallout 1, 2, Tactics, 3, and New Vegas. It also includes an empty sleeve for Fallout 4, because it came out just before Fallout 4. The new version has special perk cards included that all have game codes on them. This includes a code for Fallout 1, 2, Tactics, 3, New Vegas, 4, and Fallout 76. And before I forget, the best feature on this Mini Nuke is the sound that it plays when you hit this button. Next up, we have the Atomic Atlas statue, made by Chronicle Collectibles back in 2018. This statue depicts someone in power armor holding up an atom, similar to the real-life counterpart of Atlas holding the celestial axis on his shoulders. These retailed for 80 bucks at GameStop, but like most of the Chronicle figures, they did have a massive sale after a while, and I got mine for 20 bucks. Last up for today, the Mini Nuke Ice Cube tray. These are made by Just Funky and sold at various retailers. I think I got mine from GameStop in 2016. They're good for ice cubes, but even better for chocolates. First up, we have the Nuka-Cola delivery truck by the Wand Company. These were limited to 3,000 worldwide, retailed for about $150. It included a registration certificate, a note from the Nuka-Cola Corporation, a user manual, and a Nuka-Cola pin. It also featured opening doors, a flip-up cabin, and interior lights. Next up, we have the Flavors of Nuka-Cola canvas print. This print features 9 flavors of the Nuka-Cola. It retailed for about $85 and was limited to 150 worldwide. Next, I have this ceramic coaster set by Bethesda Gear International. Features 4 coasters, My Blood's in It, Quantum, Quartz, and Orange. Next, I have the Nuka-Cola glass bottle from Bethesda Gear Store. This is a pretty nice bottle if you can get one. It included 10 caps, but it's very fragile, and you can't drink out of it. Last for today, I have these 4 Nuka-Cola lunchboxes by Fan Wraps. I have 2 full-size lunchboxes and 2 miniatures that were sold in mystery boxes. Starting with a Fallout 4 Deluxe vinyl record set. I have 4 versions of this set. First, I have the Nuka-Cola Cherry, limited to 200 copies and sold on Space Lab 9's website. Next, I have the Nuka-Cola Quantum version, limited to 300 copies, also sold on Space Lab 9's website. I have an orange variant that was sold on Bethesda Gear Store. And last, I have the original Deluxe vinyl. Color-wise, I think this one's my favorite. Next, I have the Modern Icons T51, designed and manufactured by Chronicle Collectibles and sold at ThinkGeek and GameStop stores. They stood about 9 inches tall. I got mine at GameStop for about $50. Next, I have the Vault Boy vinyl figure by Funko. I've previously showed the other 2. This figure was exclusive to GameStop and ThinkGeek. Next, I have these 2 puzzles made by the Wand Company, both of the interior of a Crisis dealership, one at daytime and one at nighttime. These were sold on Bethesda Gear Store, and the art was made by Mattbag 3D. Last up for today, I have the Vault Boy thumbs up mug. This is the most awkward mug, because it feels like you're always going in the wrong way for a fist bump or a handshake or a thumbs up, and it makes me feel awkward every time I go to pick it up. First up, we have the T51 Sugar Bombs Power Armor speaker, released in 2020 on the Bethesda Gear Store. They had a listed retail of $200, but were on sale day one for $58. They were limited to 600 made. They had Bluetooth functionality, an LED base that syncs with your music, but the most gimmicky thing about these is you can wave your hands like a Jedi to change the music and turn the volume up and down and just generally make you look like a weirdo. I love it. Next up, I have the Sugar Bombs Fusion Flea, made by the Wand Company and released in 2021, limited to 1,000 pieces worldwide. The box contained a fridge magnet, a miniature Sugar Bomb cereal box, a user manual, and of course the Fusion Flea with the Sugar Bombs livery on it. I love these Fusion Fleas, all the details, opening doors, light up engine bays, they're awesome. Next up, I have the T51 Sugar Bombs USB hub. These were exclusive to ThinkGeek for about $70, made by Power Up Factory. This is a great way to hide your cables within your Fallout collection. Next up, we have the ceramic Sugar Bomb cereal bowl. I believe there's 2 versions of this bowl, a 16 ounce and a 20 ounce version. I'm not entirely sure which one I have. Last up, I have the Sugar Bombs Fallout 4 launch party box. Just like the Abraxo box I showed previously, this has a t-shirt inside, but again, I'm not opening this one because mine's still sealed. I'm still upset we haven't had actual Sugar Bomb cereal. Why hasn't that happened yet? Today, I'm going to show 5 unofficial Fallout items, starting with this toaster. This toaster is the Simplex T-211 toaster, and you might recognize it as a character from Fallout if you played the Old World Blues DLC from New Vegas. And for the first time since I bought it, I'm going to make toast.
It's toast.
Next, I have Fallout Songs for the End of the World on vinyl. There were 3 versions of this record, a plain black version, an atomic blast version, and a glow-in-the-dark uranium version. These were posted in a Facebook forum under a lot of secrecy, so I'm not actually sure who sold it or who made it, really. I didn't look too deep into it, but the presentation is probably the best I've seen for any vinyl record. The music choices are great, and it came with this pamphlet, which is awesome. Next, I have this camera that's in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. This is the Kodak Brownie Hawkeye. Mine is complete in box with the original bulbs and the manual. I need to find film for it and see if it actually works. Next, I have these ammo cans that contain a bunch of MRE kits. This is from Minotaur Trading Company. These were meant to be more of a cosplay item than an actual survival kit. I have a Super Mutant version and an NCR version in the ammo cans, but I also have a Brotherhood of Steel and Vault-Tec version in cardboard boxes from the same company. They're neat, they're gimmicky, but I like having them. And last for today, I have a can of emergency drinking water. You can find these at Army surplus stores or on eBay like I found mine. Just a great item to have in a Fallout collection. Starting today off with the Simtech 1000. These were given away to attendees at E3 2008. They're made with actual 1998 Fisher-Price Viewmasters in a custom box. This slide has 7 screenshots of Fallout 3. I promise they look a lot cooler in 3D. Next up, I have the Fallout 3 Survival Edition. These are sold exclusively on Amazon. This edition includes the regular Fallout 3 Collector's Edition, which has the lunchbox, art book, making of DVD, bobblehead, and of course the game itself. But the real grail in this edition is the included Pip-Boy clock. This clock is modeled after the in-game Pip-Boy with a custom stand. It takes 3 AA batteries that don't really last too long. The buttons light up red when you press them, and there's a compass on top that kind of acts like a Geiger counter. Next up, I have the Fallout 3 standee. These are in lots of gaming retail stores as advertisements for the upcoming Fallout 3 launch. And if you watch my Fallout New Vegas anniversary video, I tell a story about how I got that standee. Well, it's the same story for this one because I got them both at the exact same time. Next up, I have the Vault Dweller's Survival Guide Pocket Reference Edition. I believe this was given to GameStop managers, and it was a PAX 2008 promo item. And last for today, I have the Vault 101 sneakers. These were sold on the old Bethesda Gear Store back in 2013. They genuinely seem like they would have been actual Vault-Tec issued shoes. Unfortunately, mine have some sneaker rot going on, but I don't think there's any way to reverse it for me now. I have an original sealed copy of Fallout 2. Unfortunately, I don't plan on opening this, so I can't show you what's inside. Even though the condition of mine isn't great, I think it's pretty cool having a sealed copy because you just don't see sealed copies hardly ever for Fallout 2. Next, I have the Fallout 2 game guide. This took me a while to finally hunt down. I ended up finding it on eBay, being sold from a bookstore for 20 bucks, which was a steal because these go for a lot more than that. Next, I have the Mac Play version of Fallout 2. This came in a much smaller box than the PC version. In the box, it included a manual and the game inside of a DVD sized case. Next, I have this 2-pack that includes Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. It's just a box that has both of their CD cases, but it's a really nifty design because you can flip them back and forth like this. That's all my Fallout 2 stuff. So to end this video, I want to show you a really cool prototype mug that I have. This mug was given to me by an ex-Bethesda employee. It's essentially just a Vault Boy head molded in glass. It was considered to be too fragile for them to make, so as far as I know, this is the only one. Starting today with the Slocum's Joe clock, sold on Bethesda Gear Store in 2021 and retailing for about $65. This analog donut clock features moving eyes and moving arms. It wasn't limited edition, but if you didn't get it quick enough, about as soon as they started shipping them out, they had to recall it for fear that people would put the batteries in wrong and the unit would catch on fire. Next up, we have the Slocum's Joe metal sign, also sold on Bethesda Gear Store in 2021. This metal sign was made by Chrome Domes and retailed for about $85. They did 3 similar signs to this one, and I really like them. Next up, we have the Slocum's Joe Fusion Flea, made by the Wand Company and sold in 2019. This flea was limited to 1,000 pieces worldwide. This set included the Slocum's Joe menu, a vintage style postcard, a miniature mascot to sit on the back of the flea, all inside of a pretty cool box. This is probably my favorite color scheme of all the fleas, with the metallic pink and the sprinkles. This is actually my second one. My first one fell on the ground and it broke, and I weathered the hell out of it. Probably a little too much, but I like it anyway. It sits proudly in my collection. Next, we have the Slocum's Joe franchise kit. This kit was also sold on Bethesda Gear Store in 2021, retailing for about $45. This kit included 4 donut plushies, one of them being the Slocum's Joe mascot plush. It had an enamel pin, mini art print, and came in a nice little donut box. Last for today, we have the Slocum's Joe donut mug, sold on Bethesda Gear Store in 2020 for about 20 bucks. There's a white and pink version of this mug. I've never used this mug myself, but I would venture to say it's not the easiest to hand wash or stir your coffee with. Starting today with the Yes Man statue, sold on Bethesda Gear in 2021, retailing for about $115. These were limited to 1,000 worldwide and very quickly sold out. They measure 8 inches tall, made of poly resin. It did include a small pack of Yes Man stickers to use for the face, but a good friend of mine made me a muggy decal, and I like it a lot better. It's almost like a life-size muggy. Next up, we have the Vault Boy incense burner, made by Numbskull Designs in 2018. This retailed for about 30 bucks. It features a Vault Boy in a radioactive barrel, and when the incense cone is lit underneath, it makes it look like the Vault Boy is melting. It's pretty cool. Next up, I have the Red Rocket Salt and Pepper Shaker set, sold on Bethesda Gear in 2022 and retailing for about 20 bucks. The set includes a red and a yellow shaker made of ceramic, and they'd look perfect in any diner setting. Next, I have the Deathclaw mug, sold on Bethesda Gear Store. These retailed for about $22 back in 2022. This mug looks really cool. I like the detail. I've never actually used it, but I do really like how the Deathclaw's horns are the handle. And last up, we have the Nuka-Cola Victory 4-pack, made and sold by Jones Cola. These launched during the hype of the Fallout TV show earlier this year. The 4-pack went up for sale on Jones Cola's website and Amazon for about 25 bucks. The sodas are still kind of hard to find today, but most shops that do carry them have them for under $2 a bottle. But if you did order that 4-pack for 25 bucks, you get a nice little cardboard carry case for them, which as a collector I had to have.